There we go. Thank you. One of those house lights. I appreciate it. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. The title of this concert, for lack of a better word, is Just Have Some Fun. But it's sort of also whistling past the graveyard. Like, ignore what's really happening. Just have fun. So you'll see this dichotomy of joy and fear coming in and out of a few pieces on this concert. So the opening piece by Malcolm Arnold is based on a Robert Burns poem, Tam O'Shanter, and it's a 12-minute poem when you recite it. So while it always seems like I talk 12 minutes between each piece, I do want to give a little bit of context for you to listen. So I'm going to pick little parts of the poem out here. And I didn't work on my groundskeeper Willie accent, so apologies to Robert Burns, but I won't read the original 18th century Scottish. I'll read the modern English translation. So, Tam O'Shanter is a character. And he and Suitor Johnny go to the pub a lot and drink a lot. And Tam's wife, Kate, is none too pleased. So Tam and Suitor Johnny at the point. Meanwhile, outside the storm might roar and rustle, Tam did not mind the storm a whistle. Care, mad to see a man so happy, even drowned himself in ale. As bees fly home with hoards of treasure, the minutes winged their way with pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, over the ills of life victorious. The wind blew as if it had blown its last. The rattling shatters rose on the blast. The speedy gleams the darkness swallowed. Loud and deep and long the thunder bellowed. Well mounted on his gray mare Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam raced through the mud and mire, despising the wind and rain and fire. The lightning flashes from pole to pole, nearer and more near the thunder rolls. When glimmering through the groaning trees, Always church seemed in a blaze. Through every gap, light beams were glancing, and loudly sounded mirth and dancing. Warlocks and witches in a dance, no cotillion brand new from France, but hornpipes, jigs, and strathspeys and reels put life in their metal and their heels. And how Tam stood like one bewitched, and thought his very eyes enriched. Even Satan glowered and fidgeted, full of lust, and jerked and blew with mighty and main, till one caper then another. Tam lost his reason altogether and roars out, "Well done, Cutty Sark!" And in an instant all was dark, and scarcely had Maggie rallied when the hellish legion sallied. So now the witches are chasing Tam on Meg, because they saw him seeing them. Let me just finish up here. Now do your utmost, Meg, and beat them to the keystone of the bridge. There you may toss your tail at them, a running stream they dare not cross. That running stream, by the way, is the River Doon, as in Rigadoon. Honest. Fernandi, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious aim. But little knew she Maggie's mettle. One sprang brought off her master hold, but left behind her own great tail. The witch caught her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now who this tale of truth shall read, each man and mother son take heed, whenever to drink you are inclined, or skirts run in your mind. Think you may buy joys over dear, but remember Tam O'Shanter's mare. Here is Malcolm Arnold's musical version of Tam O'Shanter. Leonard Bernstein, of all people. instead of jazz, of all things. That it's never entirely happy or entirely sad. And actually, that makes sense. And I've always found an affinity between klezmer music and jazz music. And one of the connecting elements is that in klezmer music, it's never entirely happy or sad. Klezmer music comes from the Ashkenazi Jewish culture in Eastern Europe, and it is folk music that is improvised. And the front line of klezmer groups is very similar to the front line of early jazz small groups, where you have a clarinet, a brass instrument, could be a trumpet, could be a trombone, you have a violin. The music that you heard before the concert started is from Itzhak Perlman's CD in the early 1990s called Fiddler in the House, where the esteemed violinist did recordings with various klezmer groups. And that all is to set up the next piece, Yiddish Dances, written by Adam Gorb, who teaches at the Royal Northern College of Music in Manchester, England. And he has done a series of dances. He's done another set of Yiddish dances. He's done dances in the Greek Isles. And this piece just magically captures the spirit and essence of the culture of klezmer music. It's very difficult sometimes to make the translation from folk music to a formal Western ensemble. And I think that Dr. Gorb has done just a fabulous job with that. When the Wind Ensemble went to England in 2007, we had the opportunity to play this piece with Adam Gorb being our clinician for it. And the one thing that stuck in my mind was how impassioned he was to have the band play it dirty, right? That folk music is wear it on your sleeve from the heart. And with the training our students have, which is why they play so well, playing it dirty is sort of an anathema to their whole being. So it's been a transition for them in this concert in a few places, maybe not just in this piece, to play it dirty. So I hope you enjoy Yiddish Dances by Adam Gorb. Couple of the movements were connected. It's the end. So when I was putting this concert together, the first half of the concert was pretty settled, and I had some other plans for the rest of the concert that didn't pan out, which is actually even better. So now we've got these two pieces on the concert, and I couldn't be happier. The piece here, To the Stars, written by Kyle Warnke, and you'll meet Michael Shelley in just a little bit. Kyle was a student, composition student of Dr. Shelley, and so I think it's quite serendipitous to have student teacher here on the second half of the concert. It's really quite nice. Kyle wrote this piece about 1.5 years ago, and To the Stars. The have some fun here is that this is just a joyous piece, and it's joyous about Star Trek. He is probably Star Trek's #1 fan. And matter of fact, his program notes in the score simply say, "I really love Star Trek." That's the extent of the program notes. So before the concert, I said, "Hey, Kyle, can you expound on that just a little bit so I can share it with the audience?" Basically, that says it. Like a good composer, never says more or less than he has to. But he fell in love with it as a kid. His dad watched it. They went to the movies. He got entranced with one of the movies that he thought was great when he was 8, and then when he was 20, he realized it was the worst of all the Star Trek movies. I'll leave the Star Trek people to discuss which one that may be. But he takes the spirit of the music and infuses it into his own ideas. He wants some of his identity in the piece, but it's basically To the Stars. So I hope you enjoy it. Michael, it's not that we don't have to tune for your piece. We're going to tune after all the talking. So, again, thank you all for coming. And so far, the concert has been what you would expect of a wind ensemble concert. And it'll continue so to a point, and then plan on being awed and surprised. But I'll leave that to Michael to explain and contextualize. The other thing we do in our spring concert is recognize graduating seniors. And we've got, I think it was 17 this time, which is painful to count. Every year I say the same thing, and every year I think it becomes more meaningful. Every ensemble has ups and downs, ebbs and flows. And over the course of 4 years, that can sometimes be fairly profound. What I cherish is the fact that these folks and the graduating seniors every year, despite whatever headwinds they may face, they don't walk away, they don't quit, they keep coming back and giving 100% of their contributions to make the ensemble everything it can be. And to any ensemble director, nothing is more important. And these folks, when I taught high school, I used to give the Unsung Hero Award. And I think maybe everybody in this group who's graduating this year could get this. Because they come in every day, they do their job, and they're prepared, and we couldn't have done this concert without them, for sure. So what I'm going to do is introduce them by section. And I don't know why it's taken me 28 years to realize that if I start with the front row, everybody's standing and you can't see the people in the back row. So I'm going to start with the percussion. And so we have Chris, and we have Beckett, and Sam. Yay. And who did I forget? Oh, no, don't tell me. Did I forget somebody? Thanks. And anytime I lose 66.67% of my section, I lose some sleep. But in the tubas, we have Susie and Lance. In the euphonium, hopefully her family has survived all of the weather from last night in Oklahoma. But Paige Langford, yay. And I have the same unpleasant high percentage in my trombone section. Liz and Julian. Yes, sir. The next three I won't let graduate because I need a trumpet section next year. But we have Hughes, Jacob, and Nathan. In the saxophone section, sadly, because she's just done everything I've asked of her from day one, Jess. And maybe the most stalwart of all these, how many clarinets were here when you came, Faith? Like 3? Faith Perry, who survived the cyclical recruitment dilemma of certain sections that appear and disappear. And I just asked her, we think there were 3 clarinets when she came. So, and in the oboe English horn area, my assistant, Annika. And we have one honorary graduate because I don't think we had the opportunity for recognition in a December graduation. So I want to thank Sam Mead, who graduated in December. And again, these are 3 more that won't graduate because I need a flute section. Aaliyah Harmon, yay. Amberly, and Maddie. Now, please tell me I didn't forget anybody. Right? I got everybody. I got it right this time? Okay, good. Thanks. One more hand for all the graduating seniors. I was telling the group yesterday that in Saturday Night Live, the audience, I'm looking at the audience, and about 30% will get this reference. When a guest host reaches their 5th appearance, yeah, somebody knows it, they get a jacket. Well, when Mike was here last, it was his 4th visit, and we didn't know this was going to happen, and so we made a big deal about us. So I apologize to him already. I'm working with a tailor to get him one. But Michael has become just such a close friend, and we have this kinship on so many different levels, not the least of which is coming from the great state of New Jersey. And when I was putting this concert together and a couple things fell through, this piece just made it obvious what the choice was going to be. And rather than take any more thunder from him, let me please welcome, wherever he is, Michael Shelley to come up and talk about this piece.
I didn't know I was supposed to do this. That's okay. I'm happy to do this.
How many times have you been here?
Yeah. Well,
This every time?
I'll do it for these guys. The best band in the state of Texas, right? And the best conductor in the United States. Anyhow, very, very briefly, I think some of the stuff is in program notes, Jim?
No, just your bio.
Oh, okay. This piece was written in 2011, and one of the very first performances of this piece was right here 10 years ago. The piece was a consortium commissioned from 35 different university wind ensembles throughout the United States and a couple in Asia. It blew my mind how many bands signed on to this piece. It's like Sally Field at the Oscars. They like me. They really like me. Originally, the piece, my plan for the piece and what I sold to the commissioning bands was a piece about Nostradamus, 2012, right? Some of us remember the world was going to end and all that. And that was originally what the plan was going to be. I started making some sketches, and about 2 months into initial sketches for the piece, there was a huge earthquake-tsunami combination off the east coast of Japan in 2012. They refer to it as their 3/11. Interesting, it was March 11, 2012. The reason I bring that up, my wife is Japanese. For 2 months, I watched her sitting in front of the computer watching her homeland. She grew up kind of near Fukushima where that happened. Her face was paralyzed. She's a pianist and a composer. Jim has programmed a couple of her pieces over the years. I watched her being kind of paralyzed, and I thought, I grew up in North Jersey. What if I was watching New York underwater and being washed away? Anyhow, the piece quickly became not about 2012, but about the tsunami. And it really helped me design what the piece was going to be. That's 10 years ago. Like always, the Japanese people have found a way to come up from their problems. They're very resilient. And so the piece now has become a little bit more universal for me. So it's not just about Japan anymore. It's about all of you guys and any things you have been through, and then try to come up from what you've been through. The resilience, going through hell and coming back from it. So that's basically what this piece is about, and thanks to the band so much. These guys have been incredible. This piece is not a walk in the park, and I'm very, very proud and very impressed at the way they're pulling this piece off. So I love you guys. Thank you.